Hi everyone, it's Jenny Clark coming to you again from Montana. It's sunny outside, but it's a little bit too hot today to be filming out there. So how many of you are ready to get sewing on your paper piecing project, but you're not quite sure how to get your machine set up? That's what this quick little tip is going to show you how to do. So stick with me and I'll show you how to set your machine up. Coming right back. Hi everyone! I got another quick little video for you, and I want to show you when you're ready to start sewing on your project how to set up your machine for paper piecing. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a really high quality cotton thread. I personally like Aurifil 50 weight, but anything that is a good high quality cotton thread, 50 or 60 weight thread is probably the best for paper piecing. And then the other thing you want to make sure is that you have a good working sewing machine and a Microtex 7010 size 10 sharp needle. That's going to make you successful for your sewing machine. Once you have the needle in your sewing machine and it threaded with the cotton thread, then you need to make sure that you set it to the proper stitch length. One thing that I've noticed is that when you start paper piecing, you really have to remember to set your stitch length to a lower stitch length on your machine. Because if you don't, a couple things will happen. One, it's quite a bit harder to take the papers off, but two, your stitches when you're tearing those papers off are going to come out a lot easier. So you want to have a good smaller stitch length. It makes it tighter, it holds the fabric together better, and it perforates the paper, so it's a lot easier to take your papers off. So set your stitch length. I'm going to show you on my machine. Here we go. Okay, so here's my sewing machine, and I am sewing on a Bernina 475. Any machine that you have is going to be able to adjust the stitch length and the stitch width. So I've already loaded my machine with a Microtex 70. And we're going to zoom in here to the settings, and I want you to look here. Normally you'll have a stitch width and a stitch length. What we're concerned about here is the stitch length, which is how long the stitches are. So if I turn it up, the stitches get bigger, and if I turn it down to a lower stitch length, the stitches get smaller. When you paper piece, you want to have somewhere between a 1.7 to a 1.9. Every machine is different. This Bernina and most Berninas will go in increments of 0.05. So I can go 1.95, 1.9, 1.85. I usually set my machine around 1.7 or 1.75. That allows the paper to be released fairly easily, and it's not too tiny where, one, the papers will fall apart when you start stitching, and two, if you do happen to make a mistake, they're still a little bit easier to take out than if you were to make the stitches much smaller than that. So that's how you set your machine up to get ready for paper piecing.